Here it is. What day is this? Thursday afternoon. Sun is bright. One of my lazy days. I have about 5 out of 7 lazy days, if you want to know the truth. Let's see. I don't have anything special. This is just going to be a chit-chat day and kind of a pickup on things. And you've seen all the jewelry I could pile on my dining room table. Now, that's just part of it. The rest is in boxes that I can't find. I'll find them when I'm looking for my Easter decorations, or maybe my Halloween decorations. I'll come across those things. So anyway, having seen all that jewelry, I decided I'd put one of the necklaces on. It looks pretty good with this top, you know. Now this is actually a 3-strand necklace, but one strand broke. It's hanging down in the back here. You see pieces of it. And I've got a lot of necklaces like this that need to be restrung, but I'm not into restringing jewelry anymore. I wore myself out on that. And of course I made the earrings some time back, and they kind of matched the jewelry too. So while we're talking about jewelry, I just love these little bangles, don't you? They just seem to match anything. I've got a few of them, a few more of them like this. I thought I'd show you a bracelet I made. Don't know if you can get a good look at it or not. Put it up against my shirt, and maybe you can, well, that's not working, is it? Let's see. Let's put it here like this. I'll do it like this, so you can see how it's put together. Now, can you get a good look at that? That takes time. Now, I only made 2 or 3, so I just thought I'd give you a look at something I used to do. Everything you see about me anymore is what I used to do. I don't do much of anything anymore. Got another bracelet I'm going to show you. Take a good look at this. I'm going to put it on. It's one of those, has that little chain that keeps you from losing it. Can you see it? It's gold and silver. It's got a little design on it. I'm trying my best to get it so that you can get a good look at it. Now, is that pretty good? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, this is definitely one of my keepsake bracelets. Probably the #1 keepsake bracelet. And it has a little story behind it. When my kids were teenagers, young teenagers, I belonged to an organization called Parents Without Partners. Well, you can figure that one out for yourself. It meant, here's mom and her kids, and she needs some companionship, she needs some social life, so she joined Parents Without Partners. Now, I was in the organization about 3 years, I guess. Friends of mine, my girlfriend, 2 or 3 of them I worked with, we would go to the meetings, and we had a social every month, once a month. And of course, guess who did the decorating and the planning and the da-da-da-da-da? Yeah, me. So I became pretty active in the group, and had to do the program planning. But that wasn't hard to do because I had some good members. Some of them were professors at the university, and I figured they could bring us up to date on some good things to do in life and what they do at the university and that sort of thing. I knew they could come up with some good programs. And then there were those that were the good cooks, whatever. We varied in our programs, but we still had our once a month social which was usually at one of the clubs around town that would let us rent their party rooms. It came time to elect new officers. This was my 3rd year. I'm going to that meeting because I don't want them nominating me for one of the offices. No way, especially president. So I go to the meeting where they're going to do the voting. Guess who got elected president that year? Oh yeah, I was real effective that night. My year ended. I did a pretty good job, or I think I did anyway, but I was getting tired of the organization. It was wearing thin for me. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. So I was ready to drop out. But at the end of the year as president, he gave me a gift. And this was the gift I got. Very nice bracelet, one I just showed you. So I take care of this bracelet and I wear it on special occasions. So that's my background on Parents Without Partners. All right, let's see, what are we going to go to next? Yeah, well, here's another necklace. I like this one. I picked this up at Steinmart, I think. But you know, if you need a little color, it looks pretty good with this top. So I've got several other tops that it blends with, because you get 3 shades of orange and sandalwood, whatever colors you want to call them. And I hang on to this one for a quick grab when I'm running out the door. So I thought I'd just show those to you and let you see a sample of the vintage jewelry. Got a lot of it. Now, I've been watching my own videos today, and I'm going to tell you this. I never have thought much of the stories that I tell because I don't think I'm very good. I don't have enough confidence in myself. When I start the story, I'm not real sure what I'm going to tell. It just kind of comes out, and whatever comes out, that's what you get. Some of them I've been pretty satisfied with. 1 or 2 of them I really liked, and the rest are just mediocre, and I think, oh, I shouldn't have videoed that. I need to delete it. But people like you have said, no, leave it on, it's a good video. So I've listened to you, and I've left some of those videos on. Now, you know I'm getting up to nearly 300 stories I've told. That's a lot of stories, and I keep wondering, what in the world did I tell those people? I haven't done that many things, and I haven't done anything fantastic, what you call noteworthy. But I went back, and I said, what was that story about? You know, my titles sometimes were deceiving to me. I had no idea what my title represented. So I would watch one of my videos. Well, I watched a couple of them, and I'm telling you, I watched it as though someone else had been telling the story because I didn't remember what I told. So I sat here watching myself as if self was someone else telling the story. And you know what? I enjoyed them because they were new to me. It had been so long since I told the stories. As I started talking, I didn't know what was coming next. That was the good part. I wasn't prepared for what I was going to hear. So it was new to me, just like it was new to you. Now, I'm not telling this to brag. It's amazing how things can go. You can see yourself in a different light. And I was seeing myself in a different light. I was watching myself laugh at the things that you had laughed at, and I'd think, well, I didn't know that was funny. When I was telling it, I'd think, they think that's funny? Well, the go around, I'm watching it as a viewer, and I'm laughing. It was funny. It really was. So that made me feel good. Now, I've had people make many comments. My nose is itching. That's not the comment. I've had them compliment me. And you know, the thrilling thing about a small town girl who never thought she would go anywhere, do anything, be somebody, the thrill of this now is I'm being recognized by people from Australia, England, Ireland, Canada. I can go down the list, and if I get through the whole list, I've probably covered every state in the United States that someone has commented about my video. What do you say to something like that? I just got one from Australia this morning. And they're always complimentary. Oh, those that have I'm going to say a cob, no, I won't finish that statement. They have a problem, so I just overlook those people. But the rest of you are looking for something you can enjoy, just like I am giving you something to enjoy because I enjoy giving it to you. Does that make sense to you? I should have taken a few courses in public speaking. But as long as you understand the point I'm trying to make, that's all that matters. Today has been the day that I've enjoyed myself. I've listened to myself again and again and again. Wasn't bad at all. Because these are old enough stories that I've forgotten them. Didn't know what I said, so I sat and listened to myself. I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. And part of it, well, most of it, is because of you. You have been so responsive. You have made me feel good. You have built me up. You've given me encouragement. Now, I don't know how many more adjectives you need, but I feel good about myself today. Now, something I wanted to point out was there's a lady that has her own YouTube. Now, I wouldn't have found her if she hadn't brought up my name. And she had watched one of my videos. And I'm going to tell you what her YouTube channel is. She is Corky's Tea Time. Corkey', Corky's Tea Time. And she did a segment called Granny Pat and Real Life Stories. You've got to watch it. You just have to watch it because it is one of the most delightful videos I have seen. I know she's talking about me, but she is laughing throughout the video, and her laughter is so delightful, so cute. You're laughing as hard as she is. I'm laughing at what she's laughing at, which is me performing. And the video that she was watching was Granny Pat Performs Live. It's a 5-minute video. But she is so cute, so funny, that she just almost had me in tears laughing at her, laughing at me. So make sure you look up Corky's Tea Time and look for the video, Granny Pat and Real Life Stories. That's one I wanted to point out. Another one was, I did a video on she crab soup. Now, I'm not saying it was the best food or dish I could have chosen, but it was the one that I really, really liked. So I wanted to show that video. It was okay. One day, Jan, my daughter, she sent me a message and says, you need to watch this video on YouTube. It's entitled Love Letter to Granny Pat, She Crab Soup. This lady liked my recipes so well that she decided to try it herself. She did her own video making my she crab soup recipe. She was so good. It took my video to shame after I watched her. She did such an excellent job of making the she crab I can't, you know, that's one of those tongue tanglers. She was making she crab soup from my recipe, and she made it look good. So I think you need to look her up. Now, I don't know what her name is because I was in a hurry and I couldn't find the videos to get her name. But just remember, Love Letter to Granny Pat, and the title was She Crab Soup. I recommend those two videos. Now, the third person I want to mention, now I could mention a lot of people, been so faithful to me and keeping up with every video that I have posted. But this one, someone sent this to me. I wouldn't have known that this lady was promoting my book. She was promoting my cookbook, showing my cookbook, you know. In fact, I should have it here in my hand, but I never have things handy when I need them. I could not believe the kind things she was saying about me and building me up. And I thought, I don't know this lady. Marlene in Arizona. She has her own YouTube channel. she decorates and she decorates and she decorates. She shops, she gets bargains, she'll tell you where to get it, what it costs, and then she'll show you how to use it. Marlene lives in Arizona. She moved into her new home recently, and she has completely decorated with all new stuff. Oh, what a dream world that is. I'm almost jealous of her because she has this nice big house with these big rooms, so nice and clean, and the walls covered with her new artwork. Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous, but she is enjoying it, and I'm enjoying watching her do her decorating. And I want to thank Marlene for being so good about promoting my channel and promoting my 3 books for me. She's a jewel, no question about it. So those are the 3 I'm pointing to today, and I know there will be more that have encouraged me to continue doing the YouTube channel. Jan has not said one negative thing about my work, about how I do it. She just says, be yourself. That was it. You just tell it your way, and that's all you need to do. They want to watch you being yourself at home, creating, making the things that you love, and showing the people the things that you collect. And I do enjoy sharing. This picture right behind me, one of my favorite things. Yes, it's an old master print. It's a print, but it's my favorite one. And I doctored up the print to make it look like an original oil painting. Love that picture. It's still hanging here because it's time for the maintenance to come around and change my filters. When they change my filters, this picture's sitting on top of my big china cabinet, and I have to take it down for them to get to my the filters. So I just left it hanging here till they come and go, and then I can put it back on top of my china cabinet. I knew you'd want to know that, you know. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've left out. I've got enough Fostoria now that I can have a big party. How many of you would come? But you know what? I'm like Corky. I was watching her, Corky's Tea Time, and she was washing the dishes, and I loved what she said. When she needs to wash her hands, she figures she might as well just go ahead and wash the dishes. That's kind of how I look at it too. I'm not in the mood to wash dishes right now, but if I have to wash my hands, just go ahead and wash the dishes at the same time. So she stood there washing her dishes. I could see she was moving very slowly. You could hear the dishes rattling in her hand. And I thought, I love this lady. She's my type of woman. And then I saw her go into her sewing room. Now, you want to make me envious. You just did it. I've been sewing all my life, and all I ever wanted was a sewing room that had all the equipment and all the materials that I needed to enjoy making things, because I love to sew. She's got that sewing room. Gee, Corky, I envy you. And who else did I say? Okay, the lady that made the she crab soup. I liked her kitchen. She had wonderful cookware. And I loved the way she could stir that roux. Some people just have a knack for things like that. You know they're a good cook just by the way they move around and the utensils they use and how they use them. She's a good cook, I could tell that. So, this chit-chat today doesn't amount to anything real important, but these people are important. They're part of my life now. I've got a lady that sends me a card every month. Every month. A beautiful greeting card every month. I don't know if I should say, don't send me any more cards, because I enjoy the cards, and I know she's doing it because she wants to. And I enjoy having those cards to look at. They are always hand-picked cards. She's not the only one. On a regular basis, there'll be another greeting card in my mailbox. The people who live here around me, now see, this is a condominium that has 94 condos. They're all individually owned. And people move in, people move out, they come and go. And the residents are getting to be younger and younger. Well, there's a good reason for that. Those that are getting older and older are going into the clouds. And I've watched a lot of them go. And you know what? I'm in that age group. And I keep telling the doorman, I said, Fred, one of these days it's gonna be me. And he just laughs at me. He's a terrific person. He's a terrific doorman. He's a great person. So, I've got the best of the best, you might say. I really shouldn't complain about anything. Jan supports me. Jessica supports me. And I wish you people could have been with us when we went to LaGrange for my birthday. That is the sweetest little town. All of the buildings on Main Street are old. You can tell. And here comes the train. Well, of course, it doesn't have passenger cars like it used to, and it doesn't have the little red caboose like it used to. It has a lot of, I don't know what's in those cars, but they're making deliveries by train to some town somewhere. And it's such a pleasure to stand on the sidewalk and watch that train go by. It takes you back to your childhood, because I watched a lot of trains when I was a kid. In fact, when I lived in Tennessee, 15 years, I lived right by the railroad tracks. That's something I never dreamed I would do, but I moved from a cute little cottage cottage had the rooftop shaped like a barn. It was just right for one person, but it wasn't big enough for me because there I was collecting and didn't have room for new furniture and things. And this house came along and I moved into it, and the train went right down the tracks in front of me. The street was right in front of my house, and then the tracks were below that. I wasn't sure how I was going to like that, being so close to the railroad tracks. But there was no problem. I got used to the sound. I got used to the whistle at 2:30 in the morning. That, you know, they have to blow their whistles when they come to an intersection where the railroad what do you call them? Anyway, little crossbar that you have to stop when the train's coming through. The train blows its whistle, and it can sure wake you up real good at 2:30 in the morning. But I got used to that. That just became part of the, I guess you'd say, part of the atmosphere of living in a small town. You got to where you liked watching the train go by. That wasn't to be part of my story today, but I wanted to point out the people that have come into my life in the last 2 years. A lot of you. Some I talked to you personally. And the nicest thing is when I did the video outside around the fountain, and I was taking a picture of one of the ladies, and she referred to me as Granny Pat, and I said, "Have you seen me on YouTube?" And she said yes. She recognized me. Now that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you can meet someone, total stranger, and they know who you are because you're on YouTube. I like it. I'm getting the attention everybody has wanted in life at one time or another. I'm getting that attention now, and it's a good feeling. This has been a good day for me. I've just been doing a little reminiscing, and I'm going to go back and read 2 or 3 more. Not read, I say read, but I'm watching my own stories. It's fun. I wish you could have the same fun too, but if you can't do it yourself, you can watch me every day. Give or take, a laugh, a cry. You're not going to learn much, but you'll know my life history when you get through. Ain't that something? Have a good day.